Hi friends, we are going to begin learning the books of the Bible, and the Bible has 66 books in it, and it's split up into two sections: the Old Testament, which is the history of the Jews and the covenant God made with them, and the New Testament, which is from the time that Jesus came back to make a new covenant with us. So we're going to start learning the Old Testament, which has 39 books in it. That's a lot of books to learn. But to make it easy, all the books are split into 5 different sections. There's the book of law, the books of law that tell God's law. There's books of history that tell the history of the Jews. There's books of poetry, and there's major prophets and there's minor prophets. So if we learn it in chunks like that, I think it's going to be a lot easier. So to start, we're going to learn the books of law, and we're going to have some hand motions that go with it. So the first book of law is Genesis. This is the story of when God created the world and the first people. So when we're going to do a hand motion for Genesis, we're just going to do like this, like God created the world and everything. So this is Genesis. And then Exodus is the next book. It tells about the Jews and how they left Egypt. So they exited Egypt. So when we talk about Exodus, we're going to say Exodus, like they're exiting Egypt. So after the Jews left Egypt, God gave them a bunch of laws, and that book is called Leviticus, which means laws. So we're going to do like this, like we are writing laws down. So we've got Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus. And the next book is Numbers, and that is the book of the Bible that talks about God numbering the Jews and telling them, putting them into different groups and things like that. So Numbers, we're just going to hold up our fingers, which represent our 10 fingers. So we're going to say Numbers. And then the last one is Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy means second law. Moses, who gave God's law to the people, was about to die. So he brought everybody together to tell them God's laws again. So second law. So the second time God's telling the laws, we're going to do like this. Okay, so we're going to say Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. So our song is going to go like this. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. So that's how our song's going to go, and we can start it really slow and then we can go faster. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. And you can go faster and faster, and you can see how much you can get the hand motions with the song going faster and faster. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. And faster and faster. Let me see if you can learn that song and see how fast you can sing it.